San Diegans jump at the opportunity to get the single-dose Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine, where they were able to line up without an appointment.
A plea hearing over the shooting death of a Navy medic at a Southern California base takes a surprising turn. Why a plea deal for one of the accused was suddenly suspended.
As we look back on the past year, we remember the lives lost to COVID-19. We'll share a few of the stories of people whose lives have changed forever.
ABC 10 News at 6 starts now.
Dozens of people lined up today at Balboa Park for vaccines, even though they didn't have an appointment. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Our ABC 10 News reporter Rachel Bianco explains why they were especially eager to get the first batch of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Dozens of people camped out with umbrellas, books. This woman brought her paint, all hoping for a shot at becoming one of the first in San Diego to get the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Addie Burnett has been sitting here since 7:30 Tuesday morning.
I get in my car and I come down, and I've done this all over the city trying to get my shots. I go to different locations and I wait and I wait and I wait.
Even though she's eligible, Burnett says she doesn't have a computer and she's been unable to get an appointment over the phone.
And it's one shot only. Why would you want to go in for two when you can get one?
The J&J vaccine was 72% effective in research trials compared to Moderna 94% and 95% for Pfizer. Health officials say all three were 100% effective at preventing hospitalizations and deaths. It's not a concern to Burnett.
I'm ready to drop my jacket and just throw out whatever I got to throw out and hit it.
The appointments here at the Balboa Park Municipal Gym are for second-dose Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson. Downtown, 1,000 of the J&J vaccines are set aside for the people who have been living at the convention center.
We will make sure that as many people as possible get vaccinated, and that starts with some of the most vulnerable San Diegans, which by definition live here.
The goal is to vaccinate as many people as possible before they're transferred to other shelters at the end of the month. Back at Balboa Park, Burnett says if she doesn't get a shot today, she'll be back.
And I hope it's pouring down rain and nobody else comes.
Tuesday afternoon, all appointments were booked, but people are encouraged to keep checking. Rachel Bianco, ABC 10 News.
We do wish Addie luck with that vaccine. The county said it expects to get 14,000 Johnson & Johnson vaccines by the end of the day. Now, the vaccine superstation at the Del Mar Fairgrounds is closing again this weekend. Scripps Health says the site needs to close from Friday through Sunday because it also did not receive enough doses this week. People with appointments on one of those days will be rescheduled for either Thursday or early next week through the My Turn system online.
Mayor Todd Gloria today revealed how he plans to spend upwards of $300 million of stimulus funds estimated to reach the city's coffers. Right now, the city is facing an $86 million budget deficit through June 30th. That amount will grow to $154 million on July 1st. Gloria says he wants to use the stimulus money to shore up this year's budget, boost vaccine distribution, invest in services for San Diego's most vulnerable, and create resources that help small businesses.
Once again, San Diego County has just missed out on qualifying for the red reopening tier. Here are the state metrics. Our adjusted case rate, that is the current problem. It's currently at 8.8. It needs to be less than 7 for us to move into that red tier. As you can see, our other two metrics are already eligible for the orange tier. Meantime, San Diego County reported more than 400 new cases today. It also reported, though, that 15 more people have died from this virus. And communities of color have been hit particularly hard by the pandemic, especially for the country's native population. Our partners at KPBS report that San Diego's indigenous population has faced many challenges over the past year. The American Indian Health Center in Bankers Hill says because of the historical mistreatment by the government, there has been resistance to the COVID vaccine. One tool that's helped, social media.
So one of the things we did to counter it, which was really amazing, is some of our board members that are elders, they said, you know what, when I get mine, I'm happy to do it on video and give a message and show that I'm doing this because I believe that we have to protect each other. That helped a lot.
The community also risks losing its history. Social media has helped to keep it connected with traditions, but the pandemic still impedes the conveying of important general knowledge.
Tonight, a battle in the courtroom over a Navy medic who's charged in connection with the shooting death of another medic in what the victim's family is calling a military cover-up. ABC 10 News investigative reporter Jennifer Kastner first broke this story 2 years ago. Tonight, she has the new fallout over a plea deal on the 29 Palms Marine Corps base.
A total of 4 Navy corpsmen who are medics have now been charged in connection with this death. One of them had planned to enter a plea deal this week, but that was suddenly suspended. In a move that prosecutors said they'd never seen before, a plea agreement was halted Monday inside this courthouse on the 29 Palms Marine Corps base, northeast of San Diego. Our cameras were not allowed inside.
We're just disgusted with plea agreement that we did not agree upon.
The family of the late corpsman, HM3 Michael Vincent de Leon, said that last week they fought to stop the plea deal for HM1 Ryan Dini, the most senior of those accused. The de Leons believed that the deal was too lenient.
If this guy Ryan, if he would have stood up in the beginning and stopped what these guys were doing, we wouldn't be here right now.
The base previously said that he was planning to plead guilty to dereliction of duty for failing to enforce the weapons safety rules. The De Leons say their son captured this Snapchat video about an hour before he was shot to death during a going-away party with fellow corpsmen at one of the houses on base. The prosecution has said that the corpsmen were drinking and dry-firing guns, simulating their discharge without any live ammo, before a fatal round was fired. In a bombshell move last Thursday, a commanding officer on base withdrew from Dini's pretrial agreement, stating that she agreed to do so in support of the family and our fallen shipmate. This after the De Leons expressed their concerns. On Monday, the defense argued that the deal should move forward, but after hours of debate and deliberation, the judge pushed the decision back to April. The move further delays any closure for the De Leons and for their fallen son's best friend.
As his mother and father both said, there's not a step closer today than they were a year and a half ago to seeing justice for their son that they had to bury, that I said a prayer over, that I watched go to dirt.
A second corpsman, 23-year-old HM3 Mason Williams, also stood before the judge Monday for his arraignment on charges related to the death, including making a false official statement. Last month, his attorney told ABC 10 News that NCIS manipulated his client to state that he was the one who had the gun in his hand when it went off.
And it was physically impossible for that to have happened based upon where everybody was sitting and the trajectory of the shots that were fired. 2
other corpsmen, Jesse Humes and Sterling Wold, have been charged with dereliction of duty and making a false official statement. Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
We reached out to NCIS, which is handling the investigation. A spokesperson wrote back, the investigation is ongoing and it cannot provide any comment.
The former La Mesa police officer at the center of a controversial arrest pleaded not guilty today. Matt Dages' attorney entered that plea this morning. Dages is accused of filing a false police report about the arrest of Amari Johnson last May. Video from that interaction showed Dages shoving Johnson onto a bench and handcuffing him at the Grossmont trolley station. Johnson was told he was accused of assaulting an officer, but the charge was later dropped and Dages was fired. If convicted, Dages faces up to 3 years in prison.
A slow-moving storm is about to spend days dropping rain and snow around San Diego County. Meteorologist Angelica Campos is tracking the system right now that may bring us a little bit of rain this evening. She's joining us now live. Angelica.
Hi, Jim. That's right. Beneficial, but potentially problematic precipitation on the way. We could see some troubles on the roads, especially by tomorrow morning. So as we look right now at the current conditions, you can see still very dry, but there's a few showers ahead of the main cold front, and it's so cold with this system that already snow is developing to our north. As we go hour by hour, the chances will increase overnight into tomorrow morning, but after 9 p.m., we could easily start to see some showers in the area. And as cold air filters in with this system, a winter storm warning will go into effect starting at 10 p.m. tonight. Rain will be changing over to snow, with snow levels down to about 4,000 feet by tomorrow morning. We also have winds, strong winds in our deserts right now. A wind advisory will be in effect until 10 p.m. tonight. Winds could range from 30 to as high as 60 miles per hour. We've seen an average of about 40 miles per hour in our mountains and deserts over the last couple of hours, and the winds have actually gotten a little bit better in comparison to about an hour ago. We'll continue monitoring everything. We'll have rain totals, snow totals coming our way in your 7-day forecast.
Angelica, thank you. As part of our commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion in our community, ABC 10 News is bringing you an eye-opening special on the hidden bias of good people. We're going to look at the unconscious attitudes and stereotypes that we make and how we can all change for the better. It airs tonight at 8, followed by a live roundtable at 9 o'clock on our ABC 10 News Facebook page, where you can join the conversation and ask your own questions.